e5, knight f3, knight c6. Fabi goes for the 4 knights with h3. And Gukesh brings out his bishop to b4, bishop d3, a useful move defending the pawn here. And it might seem it's blocking the d pawn, but as Gukesh takes it, the bishop opens up. t6 played. And now, very interesting imbalance has arisen here. Black has a very bulletproof pawn structure. White has doubled pawns, but bishop pair. And Fabi takes a bit of his time, expands on the queen side with a4. Gukesh can stop this expansion with a5 right now. He does play it. Bishop comes out to e3. Knight to e7. The knight is going to g6. It's a typical idea. And then you go in the center with c6, d5 or directly d5. One thing that Gukesh has been trying to do in this event is play quickly. He did that in the rapid portion, now also in the blitz. h6 played. Does Fabi want to go knight f1? No, he goes bishop f1. Very interesting move. Does give a feeling of like this reversed anti-Berlin where white is black and black is white. g3 played. And I already like Gukesh's position a lot. He has played this really well, maneuvering his pieces. Fabiano, even though he was white, he was not able to get a great position here. Bishop b7, he plays it, attacks the e4 pawn, bishop g2, d5. Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn. And now knight jumps to f3. This is not a great move, but I do understand why Fabi did it. He realized that trading bishops would weaken his king further. So let me shield it for now. Let me put my knight on f3. But I love this move by Gukesh. Absolutely beautiful. He wants to come to b7. And this is a very powerful diagonal. c4, bishop comes to e4. And already black has quite a bit of pressure in the position. He can now bring his rook to the d file, maybe double up here and pawn to c5. That's a good move by Caruana. He's getting rid of his doubled pawns. If you take b takes c5, already bishop takes c5 followed by, defending these pawns seems fine. And Gukesh goes rook f d8. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. He goes rook d1, trying to trade the rooks here. Knight to e7 played. Now this move, very interesting. Wants to play his knight to d5 or f5. And also the knight wasn't doing much on g6. So it was a good idea to reroute it. Both players having almost equal time on the clock. Of course, you can't take the pawn on e5 because your own bishop on g2 is hanging. c3 seems like a very logical move here for Caruana. But this is a pretty long thing by Fabi for a 5+2 blitz. The problem for Caruana is that he would love to get his queen here and attack this pawn, but the knight on f3 would be hanging, and so now he takes this tough decision to trade the bishops. It's tough because now this square is weak, this structure is a bit loose. And Gukesh goes queen to c6, attacking the pawn on a4. White could go queen b5, offering a trade of queens. That would also kind of weaken the b6 square. He goes rook takes d8, rook takes d8, queen to b5, queen c2 played here. And Gukesh has won a pawn. Fabi takes the e5 pawn. Better was to take the b6 pawn there, but Fabi felt that b6 is anyway weak. Let me go after the e5 pawn, but knight e d5. A fantastic move that not only defends b6 but also attacks e3. And Gukesh has more than a minute on the clock and also a fantastic position. Now a pin here. So rook d7 does make sense. Getting the rook on the second rank, and then you have some discovery ideas with your rook. He goes rook e8. Not a big fan of this move because now there is an incredible tactic. I don't know if Fabiano can see it. Wow, he takes it. What a move this is. And look at Gukesh adjusting himself in the chair. The reason for that is after rook takes e1, knight takes e1, there's a queen that is attacked. There's no time to take the bishop. I go queen b1 attacking here. I just come back bishop d2 defending this pawn. And white is better. So if rooks are not traded and if g takes h6, then I take on e8, knight e8 and queen takes d5. White is completely winning here. I mean, white is completely fine. So bishop h6 comes out as a bolt from the blue here from Fabi's end. Although the position is equal, kind of shakes up Gukesh because it's a move that he didn't see coming. The question is, how is Gukesh going to deal with it? I mean, potentially you could do like g takes h6, rook e8, knight e8, queen d5, queen b2 when you are a pawn up. But you can see the king is weak. Knight f4, knight h5, knight h4, knight f5. Lot of problems can come in. And let's see. With this move, the times have gotten equalized. Gukesh thinking a lot because the right way to continue has to be found. He takes on e1, knight takes and plays queen f5, a good move. And now he gets this pawn. So very good decision by Gukesh. Remaining equal material. Also now the white king is a bit weak. So queen f5. And Fabi plays his knight to g5. Puts his knight on the g5 square and black is thinking about what to play here. These two knights defend each other but also need to start doing something of their own. Knight g4. King comes up to g2. And f6, kicking the knight away. He goes knight back to f3. And queen is to e6. Queen goes to e6. And now Gukesh, I think, feels that maybe he has the slightly better chances here for the simple reason that knights are trickier than bishop and knight in blitz when both players are down to a minute. Knights really create this chaos on the board. Queen d3. The queen is well placed. King f7. He's bringing the king in. Bring all your pieces to the game. 1 minute 12 seconds for Gukesh, 1 minute 18 seconds for Caruana. Queen h7. He gets in. Now be careful. Queen check, and if the knight is unprotected, you might lose it. So while you might want to go queen e2 to attack here, queen h5 is just game over. And Gukesh is trying to figure out a way when both of these players play. What's most exciting for the viewers is that both want to win badly, and there's no fear in either of them. That leads to some crazy encounters. Check could be played now, when g6 could potentially happen. Fabiano's time is running down as well. Gukesh has 48 seconds, but Fabi is a bit confused here. He comes back, queen d3, with 37 seconds only. Queen c6, love this move. Pinning the knight here. It's always a big worry. And now maybe queen check. Goes bishop c3. And it's just given up the pawn. Gukesh can actually snatch it. He takes it. Queen takes a4. And Fabi's like, oh, I didn't see that. Man, now Gukesh is a pawn up. Look at him. Every time Gukesh gets a good position, you can feel it. He feels it, actually. And now queen c6 again. Coming back. Plays it. If queen b3 check, trying to win, knight d5, I block and I save my pawn. So he goes king g1. Not a happy move to make. You can push the pawn to b5. He plays a4 first, which is also a good move. Bishop c3. Time to step one more ahead. Yes, queen d5 played. Queen e2. And knight to h6. He goes knight d4. He plays knight to f5. Check here. And Gukesh has to decide what to do about this. There could be a potential perpetual coming up, king f8. If a check, maybe he wants to block with queen g8. Takes the knight, but now queen takes f5. Queen comes up to h4 and now b5. Black is totally in the driver's seat. King f7. Everything's defending each other. Plays his queen to d. Queen e7. Queen a7 was strong, but he goes instead queen e3. Knight c6. Bishop e1. Knight comes to e5. King f1. Gukesh is taking over. Queen c4 check. King g2. Check f3. Knight c4. Attacks the queen. Queen f2. Now queen d3. Bring the queen in. Yes. Gukesh totally winning. Bishop b4 and now check with the knight. And queen c2 trading it. Should be good enough. But he brings the king. Bishop c5. Queen b3 played. And b4. And Fabi gets the queen in. That's the problem. King f7. He brings his queen into the center. All of a sudden Fabi's queen is activated and Gukesh's pieces are misplaced. Brings back the knight. And now queen c6. He plays knight f5. Check. King g6. Check. Queen f7. Plays his queen up to e4. Pinning here. Gukesh comes to d7. Now the knight is pinned and lost. Gukesh quickly creates a passer. The position has equalized once again, even though Gukesh is losing a piece because he has 2 pawns for it. Queen e2. The problem for Gukesh, of course, is that this a pawn, being so strong, cannot queen because the bishop controls the queening square. Queen g2 check. King f7 played. And he goes queen f2. a2 played here. Wow. If there's someone still trying for a win, it's Gukesh. g5, queen c3 played. f5, king f2. He brings his king up. Step by step, Gukesh is creating a passer on the king side as well. Now, How dangerous will it be? Because here the G pawn plus the A pawn, that's a deadly combo. Check, king d2, g3 played. If you try to win this pawn in the skewer, you might lose it. You lose the queen. So queen e5, that's a nice move by Fabi. King h3 now. Oh, starts running the king over to the other side. King g2, and there's no way to save the pawn. He goes queen g4 with just couple of seconds on the clock, loses the a2 pawn. Gukesh was unhappy there. Queen g4, and what a game this has been between both these players. Now Gukesh realizes that maybe the best idea is to trade queens and go into this endgame where it's a draw. Makes a queen, bishop takes, insufficient material. What a game between these two guys, and ends in a draw. But I must say that Gukesh played quite well there. Fabi had his chances as well, but in the end it was drawn, and the battles between these two players keep getting exciting.